So Jim, can you legally incorporate or organize, respectively, an LLC or a corporation out of state? And what I mean by that is, if you are a business in California, can you have and take advantage of being a Nevada, Wyoming, or Delaware corporation or LLC?
Yes, you can. It's strange because the newspapers of the last several months have made it sound like there's something inherently unethical or illegal about going out of state. If you just sit in your room for a minute and look around at the furniture, the desk, the pens that are laying on your desk, your very computer screen, every single one of those is 99% likely to have been done by a corporation that exists someplace further than 2 miles down the street from where you're sitting right now. Many of them are done by foreign corporations, meaning from another entire country, and many of them are done by somebody that's in the next state over, Nevada or Oregon or someplace else. All of this was assembled. This thought that going out of state or shopping for a forum, as we'll get into a little bit later, for purposes of doing business is somehow unethical or illegal is totally false. In fact, it's the wisest thing to do. If someone is a counselor for one of these organizations, either as an attorney or a CPA or a financial advisor, in many cases, they're probably derelict if they don't advise them to go to the state that taxes them the least and permits what they want to do as a business the most profitably. So no, there's nothing unlawful about it at all. It's the purpose that you're doing it for that can be unlawful. Or if you're putting it together and then run, say, ill-gotten gains through them, then that can be unlawful. Now, the idea of just going there to be opaque so that people don't know who the contents are, who the officers or directors are, that itself is not unlawful. It's not even an unlawful thought to want to do that. In fact, it makes very good sense. Many people don't want to be identified out there and searched constantly, as is now capable through the internet, by virtue of just their mere affiliations. They just feel like people ought not know that much about their lives. And in many cases, there's very good reasons for them not to know. Many people are market movers. If suddenly they show an interest in one market, it might actually change the market just because of their status in the market and who they are. In other cases, people don't like being publicized on every single move they make in their life. They just plain don't want it. They don't want the international paparazzi looking over their shoulders. And in a sense, everybody now that just surfs the internet to see what they can find on people probably is what I would call a paparazzi of some kind, and they just don't want that kind of big brother looking over their shoulders, not because they have some nefarious reason, but because people just don't want to be watched. Whether it's for good reasons or not, they don't want to be surveilled and have cameras watching them every place they go. I understand the notion. So no, there's nothing inherently illegal or unlawful about doing it.
Perfect. So notwithstanding fraud, any type of illegal activities, anything that would obviously violate the Patriot Act or the Internal Revenue Service or Code, this is an absolute, complete, entire lawful and viable practice.
Not only viable and appropriate, but as I said, it's something that even makes good sense based upon sound business planning. Going, for instance, to a state that has lower taxation than the one you're in, very good business planning. Going to a state where labor costs less than what it would cost in the state that you originate from, very good business planning. And just to make it a little bit more clear, remember, this isn't somebody just sitting down thinking these things up. These are the states actually engaging in programs to invite you to do that. It's, come on, our state is open for business. Come on down. Do some business with us. We'll save you taxes. We'll give you benefits. We might even give you tax incentives. We might even give you tax credits to move here, like Tesla got going to Nevada. Some very serious tax credits. Would anybody say, no, the American thing to do would be to turn those billions of dollars of tax credits down over the period of the time they've promised to be there and say, no, I'd much rather pay a lot of taxes and get no tax credit whatsoever. And I have no desire to do that whatsoever. Who in their right mind would say a thing like that? It's entirely legal, and it's even solicited by the states. So inherently, there's nothing wrong with it. So it seems like suddenly, and this makes it even more so, it seems to me the case that I don't want to be surveilled, that merely having done business with a couple of the entities that just go and set you up in another state, of which there's many, Fosec Monseca, the one that we hear advertised, is not the only one, the so-called Panama Papers. Many of the largest and most successful law firms in the United States put these together. In fact, if you went behind Mossack Fonseca's files, you'd probably find out that major New York law firms, major Berlin law firms, major firms coming out of Tokyo have recommended that contact to their clients as an abbreviated way to set these companies up because they make very good sense. So I I think it's unfortunate that the newspapers and the other journalistic media is making hay out of them, saying if you don't want to be surveilled, then something must be wrong. Because if you had nothing to be guilty for, why would you care that the entire universe knows everything you're doing? Why would you care? Wouldn't you welcome it? There's a lot of people that say, are you kidding me? I don't even like to go to the store with my hair uncombed. No, I don't want the world looking in on all of my affairs. I have no desire to do that, and that doesn't make me a criminal. In fact, it probably makes me sane. So, have you got anything else in that magic wrap of ideas there?
No, that's perfect. Thanks, Jim.
You're certainly welcome. Thank you for inviting me to these.